It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you once again for making time for us. We've just watched Nigeria versus South Africa out in Nigeria for the 2026 World Cup qualifier. That's the Super Eagles against Bafana Bafana, and that game ending in a goal, in a 1-all draw. Bafana Bafana taking the lead in the first half, and Nigeria equalizing early on in the second half. A game of football that generates a lot of interest in the continent. We know that these two teams or these two countries don't like each other much. We have a history of not liking each other. And we know Nigeria have had Bafana Bafana's number for a long, long time. You know, every time in the past, so many years, every time Bafana Bafana plays Nigeria, we almost knew what the score, what the outcome would be, because Nigeria have been giving us tough time. But with the current coach, Hugo, we go to these kinds of games with a lot of hope, because we've seen what he's able to do, what he has been able to do with this Bafana team. So we have to give him credit. We've been a laughing stock. For a long time, we've been the laughing stock of the African football. But Bafana has turned the table now, and we have to thank the man at the helm and give him credit for being able to turn tables around, especially given that he doesn't get the kind of support that he's been asking for from both SAFA and the PSL. So we have to give him credit for that. He's still able to work under the conditions that are not favorable based on what he says, because he's one of the coaches that is not shy to say what he wants to say. He's a coach that doesn't hold back. He says what he wants to say. It doesn't matter how it lands on the other side. He reminds me a little bit of Sheikh Mashaba. You know, Sheikh Mashaba, when he was still Bafana coach, he used to be exactly like that. He would say whatever is in his mind. So Hugo Bruce, though, is one of those coaches who says things, and also he backs it. He backs his talking with the performance on the field of play. I know we did not win the game. It was a draw, but given the history of us and Nigeria and the kind of team that Nigeria are and the talent that they have, a draw in Nigeria is a big achievement. You know, it's a massive outcome for Bafana to come back with a point and also still be in contention for the top spot in this group of qualifiers. Remember, you have to win the group in order to stand a chance, in order to be guaranteed a place in the second phase of the qualifiers. Or if you end as number 2 and you are one of the best number 2s in the across the groups, then you can also qualify for the second phase of the qualifiers. But we have to give Hugo Bruce his credit and his flowers, because he's turned the table around there. Getting into the game, we could have won the game. I'm going to first talk about Pesitao. Had he had his goal-scoring boots tonight, we would have won the game. He had a couple of chances where we could have easily buried those chances, and we would have won the game. Simple as that. Khuliso Mudau, what a shift he's put in. I'm sure Lookman again is going to go home and have nightmares about Khuliso Mudau. But then Khuliso Mudau is the kind of player that always puts in his 100%, his A game every time he dons in that Bafana shirt. He goes for the ball, he gets the ball, he reads the game so well. His work ethic is amazing. He's one of those players you can't afford to miss. I was worried about him when I saw him looking like he has dislocated his shoulder when Sundowns was playing against Orlando Pirates, but I was glad to see him in the starting lineup. Again, the very vital player for Bafana. He's everything you need in a fullback. Now going into the midfield, looking at Themba Zwane and Yaya Sithole, what a shift the two of them put in. You know, what a great shift they've put in. Themba Zwane, I'm sure all of us are feeling like if he was a little bit younger, so that he could carry us to the 2026 World Cup and also get to play in the 2026 World Cup, it would be amazing for him, you know. I know every time he has a great game, he's going to ignite the long debate that has been going on around the country about the comparison between him and Dr. Khumalo. I'm not one to comment about that one in particular, but I know so many football fans would like to compare him to Dr. Khumalo and say who is better between the two of them, especially with him scoring goals for the national team. It further ignites and also builds up to his status as a footballer and also as a legend in the making. He put in a decent shift once again, Thembazwane. Spepelo Stole, one of those players you don't talk about, every time you think about Bafana, you don't necessarily think about him. You think about other players, but he is so important in that middle of the park. He does things, he does the simple things. Gets the ball, pass the ball. That's what he does. He goes, he gets the ball, and he passes the ball. What a great pass. The assist that he gave to Thembazwane there, an amazing pass. It's so great to see players doing that for the national team. What a great game for him as well. Overall, Bafana played well. And we must not also forget that this is Bafana was different from the Bafana that we saw playing in the previous game, in the last game. The back four had to be changed a little bit, with Ngezana coming in and also putting in a decent shift. The forward, we saw a different striker this time around coming in. I'm not sure if I was happy to see Lyle Foster coming in. I mean, given what happened in the AFCON, I know there was a debate about how he did not want to be selected for the AFCON and all the personal issues that he was going through. I think it was a bit too early for me to see a player like that. I'm not sure if I'm ready to see the likes of Lyle Foster. I would have preferred they give another player a chance. But anyway, it is what it is. Maybe we don't understand the issues. Hugo Bruce understands better. He is the coach. We have to give him that. And the team itself, you then it gives you a chance to judge the coach, because now we've seen him playing with a different team and we've seen him playing with this team now, and he still keeps the same kind of performance regardless of what the results are. But he keeps the performance is can't be faulted much. We had our chances. We could have won the game. So I think that's where Hugo Bruce gets to get a lot of credit for the stuff that he has done for Bafana. Looking at the group that we are in now, we have Lesotho at the top of the group, a surprise package there. We have Benin, we have Rwanda ahead of us, and we are number 4 currently. But the gap between us and the number 1 is a very small gap. We are only trailing by 1 point, if I'm not mistaken. So it's anyone's game right now. One would have expected Nigeria and South Africa to be number 1 and number 2 respectively. But it's still early on in the group, in this group, so it could go anywhere. It could be anyone's group to win. It's still open for anyone to win. So I'm saying that we are very optimistic now, looking at the kind of coach that we have and the kind of performance that he's been putting in for Bafana. So going forward, I'm really hoping that we will do much better. And also we'll get to the top of the group, because we have to win the group in order to be guaranteed a place in the next phase of these qualifiers. But it is what it is. Thank you for making time. Once again, this has been Fans Corner. We meet again next time.